We're in the process of redoing the storage unit, and I'm just going to document it to maybe help somebody. So we've pulled out the whole middle section here. It was full all the way to the back, but we weren't using the top space, kind of like you can see here in the front. Now over here, down here, we happened to get another unit, and it just worked out. It's close. So we've got this unit, and that's the stuff we pulled out. And then we've got some wood here. So the goal is to get all this a little bit more organized and get it down to one unit, which right now it'd be impossible to put everything in one unit right now, because there was other things that never fit that had to go in a smaller place. Okay, so I was going to show you what we've done so far. So we got in here and got to the back wall, and this shiffer row that's broke down was sitting here, so I didn't want to mess with that at all because it's got some heavy mirrors and stuff. So built a table here. These platforms are about 5 foot, about 5 foot by 7, something like that. And I made them fit into the back. Now there's a ledge there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see here. There's a ledge back there. That's what this board is sitting on. Now that board there is not sitting on a ledge, but the next shelf I put on will be sitting on that ledge up there. This table here is acting somewhat of a support. Underneath this board, I put a 2x2 and put 5 screws in at the top, and they went too far. They're 2-inch screws. They went too far through, so I put the screws in at an angle. That should give even more support. So even though we put stuff on here and it's going to be pulling down on this still is pretty strong to take some more load. Okay, over here we got 2x4s, and there's a small piece of 2x4 that was cut, and that's got 2 screws in it. Don't know if you can see that. Now, something happened. I don't think I took into account these bolts that are sticking up or something, but my shelf wasn't level, and so I had to prop it up here. And so I've got 1 screw in here, and what I did is put 1 screw in here to hold this 2x4, and I put 1 screw right there to hold this one, and then I had a temporary screw in this one, and I was able to put this up. So this 2x4 here may stay, it may get moved. Okay, so once I had this one shelf cut, it was a template for the other 2, and I just drew around them on the plywood to cut them out. And so I did the same thing up here on this board. Put that in and put that in over there. And I made all 3 of these supports. After I had one made, I had a template, and so I got the same deal up there. It's just a little too short. Now, one thing you probably already know, but when you go through 2 boards like this, you want to drill a hole bigger than the screw in the top board, and then that way it's not fighting through the top board, and that way it grabs the bottom board. So the other day we pulled some things to the side on what was not going to need to be accessed for a long time, and so we'll put the heavier of those things on this shelf and the lighter of those things up there. Okay, I'm doing all this work with the Milwaukee battery powered 12-volt saw, circular saw, and I've got 3/8-inch plywood. It's what I could find on Marketplace and Craigslist for free. All this wood I'm using I got for free on those sites. These are the little cutouts that I made getting ready to cut this here. It's nothing fancy, but it's these slots so the wood can go back in there and be used. These can then be used as a brace. I'm just oversizing everything 1/2 inch to 1 inch just to make sure it fits. I'm just using 2 plastic sawhorses from Harbor Freight. I just cut a bunch of pieces of 2x4 that were real short. I knew I wasn't going to use for anything else. And I'm using leftover deck screws and wallboard screws. The 3-inch screws is what I'm using the most of. They're the ones that have to put the little support there that I just showed you onto the long 2x4s. Then you can use a little bit smaller screw, maybe 1 1/4, for some other things, such as putting the shelf down there on the stud, on the support. Now these are 8-foot 2x4s. Notice you don't have to go all the way to the top. You just need enough for that top shelf if you want a top shelf like that. Okay, I've got first shelf up. Got it filled. I forgot to put a support board in the very back. But I've got these nailed in the front here. And I put some real light boxes in the back. Oh, I'm just going to keep loading that top one. Okay, I was able to get that next shelf loaded somewhat and the last shelf on. So this first shelf was customized to hold that table pedestal that's so awkward. The next shelf, I just estimated about what I would need. Okay, we're doing some loading today and transferring some things from one place to another, and they've let us borrow their truck. We're just hoping that nothing happens to it, but it's a diesel. It's a real nice truck. Well, we don't have any help today. It's just us two, and we're pretty weak. Weaklings. Yvonne's saying hi.
We're in drive.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackie, here we go.
You're on camera now.
Yeah, I'm on this too. Let's see, this is a break, right? This is kind of weird. Okay, here we go.
I know, we're like right on top of the road.
Well, oh my God.
I mean, I've seen people driving these things. I've often wondered what it was like to...
They're different than U-Haul trucks. U-Haul trucks feel better.
I know.
Just driving my flat.
Yeah, I would drive with your flashers on.
Just gonna drive like.
Okay, we rearranged some things. Got the big yellow chair in the very back, so next step is shelves over there. And all the stuff from the truck got in here. It still looks pretty hopeless, but we're gonna keep working. Okay, I'm back at the storage unit today, next day, and pulled out everything so I can work. Got the unit down there, and I'm making room for this wrought iron table. It's pretty awkward. I'll go in the unit and show you. We finally got this yellow chair back in the back. We don't want to see this thing again for a long time. But I've built so you can see. Let's see if I can get the light on. Okay, so I'm using the 2 posts from the first unit, and then I got 2 new posts here, and I've customized it to go just above the chair, And then I got another shelf up there. So this wrought iron table, I'm hoping will fit in here. Now it's got 4 legs, and they're mainly positioned 2 in the middle and 1 on the ends. So I've reinforced my screws right there on the wood blocks. Not that one, but this one. And I've also put a 2x2 down here. Just for some reason that one had a groove in it, but I used about 8 or 9 short screws. And I think the table's pretty sturdy, so I'm going to try to put this table on it. I was real happy. One note, I was able to use my scrap board, and they don't completely cover the area, but they're going to be a good enough shelf to hold certain items on it. And this unit goes out longer than my bottom board was, so I had another scrap piece of board that was as long as the table. So when you put 2 boards together like this, it helps strengthen them. And so I'm just glad I'm using up some of my scrap wood. Okay, I got it up there, believe it or not. I'm here by myself, and that thing is awkward and heavy. I didn't get it positioned exactly the way I wanted, but I think I actually put it up the opposite way I wanted to, but it seems sturdy. I think it's gonna work. I got it up against the support board here, and that seems to give it a little bit more steadiness. So now I can put pictures and stuff on top of this. Okay, I'm working on the second to top shelf, and it's bowing quite a bit, so I'm gonna put this support right in the middle underneath it. Okay, got that board under there. It's just a 2x2, and I just put a string of screws, I don't know if you can see them, all the way down, and it's really made it very strong. So now this board can hold quite a bit of weight. So as you probably know, the wider a board is, or the longer it is, the more it bows. And so this board is a lot bigger square than the ones I did over here, and that's why it was bowing so much. You can double up on your boards. If you double up on them, you double up on the strength, and that's a good way to get more strength so it doesn't bow. If you're new at this, just as you go, you're going to learn what you need and what you don't need. For instance, here, this is the first shelf, and I came today and it was bowing down, so I put an extra support right here, but I'm going to put a 2x4 from the ground up right here, so it doesn't bow. Okay, so we finally did get those top 2 shelves back there loaded, and now, just as I suspected, that tabletop base fits right in there. So I'm in the process of making a shelf to go over that. Okay, got that in, the shelf's in, so now we'll just have to load this shelf. Okay, I'm going to be putting some pretty heavy stuff on here, and I don't know if you see, but I was able to use the thin pieces of scrap wood that I had. It was less than 2 feet wide, so I put them on here, and I extended the shelf out because I'm going to put a real heavy table over here, and I'll put the 2 chairs here. Okay, I got it up there. That's a extremely heavy table, but the shelf is holding up really, really good. It's barely bending. Oh yeah. So the next step is to probably try to fill in all this empty space in here. Okay, things are getting to look better. Look at all that room we got. All this room. This thing was packed full. And this is the last thing. We got all those shelves in the back filled out. We got these 3 pieces of furniture moved in. So, coming right along. Okay, things are looking really good. After we got those 3 pieces of furniture in, we put in the brown chair and built a shelf on it. Put the other chair on there and that, and then we got some more furniture back in here. So now what we're working on is we got 2 couches, so I'm building a shelf for this couch and another one on top. So just to refresh what I'm doing, just lay out my 4 posts, and I measured the height of the couch that I want to clear, and it's 35 inches, so I put all my marks, 35-inch marks on all these boards, and I'm just going to square them up with this Milwaukee square like that. And then I got my blocks of wood. I'll drill 2 holes in them so the screw can go through, like so. And then line the boards up with the lines and screw them down like this. Now these 3-inch screws, they do go through the bottom if you get them too deep like that one. So just try to keep them close to the surface. Okay, now I've got them all screwed down. I'll take them over and I'll put my shelf on. The shelf I'm using for this is just a 4x8 sheet cut in half, 3/4 inch plywood. Okay, I pre-drilled my holes in each corner since I know exactly where I'm putting these 2x4s, and I had a little jig I used to position the holes. Okay, I screwed in one leg on the floor. Since I'm by myself, I'm going to see if I can lift this up. Quick, put the other leg on and see if it'll work. I'm using quite a bit longer screws since my plywood for this shelf is 3/4 inch. Okay, that seemed to work. I got the back leg in, so now I can lift this other side and set it on those supports. Okay, we got 3 legs done. Now I'll do this last leg. Okay, we got it on. So later I probably will put another shelf up there. I just don't have the dimensions right now. So now I don't have the couch with me today. I do have the measurements for the legs though, where they hit, and I'm going to mark them on this plywood. Okay, I've got the legs marked where they're going to go. This is quite a big couch. It's almost 8 feet long. It's just going to fit inside of here. And it's actually the front legs, most of the weight's on the back and will sit on the back. It would probably be fine that way, but the front legs will stick out about 4 inches, and because it's so heavy, I'm going to double up on the plywood and extend the plywood out to catch the front legs. Okay, my overhang is 7.5 inches. That'll catch the front legs. So I'll put screws back here. This will make the second leg, the middle leg, sit on this board and hold it and support it. There's a lot of weight on the back. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, it's ready for the couch, and it's not going to hurt the couch under it. There's plenty of room. Put more stuff. There'll be room to put stuff under this couch up here and in the seat area. The shelf does wobble a little bit. Just make sure your legs are trued up and straight, and with all that weight on it, it's not going to be going in. And just a reminder, always put the crown of the wood up. That way it'll be a lot stronger, hold more weight, and be less likely to set. Okay, now I'm not sure if we'll need this shelf or not, but I'm going to build a shelf over this chair. This is one of the pieces from the crate that came from the airport, and some airport parts were shipped in it. It's 6 feet high. I'm going to cut it in half, and it'll be good for 2 shelves if I need it. I'll just use the same principles and build it like I built the other. Okay, I'm back here at it again. Got another shelf built over the chair here, and this one's going to be a 2-tier one. Now I gotta think about how to do another shelf over here. Okay, I got that shelf up now. It's a little wobbly. I'm gonna have to do something to secure it. I'll probably tie it to the back wall over there, but that one's 2-tiered too, and hopefully it will hold one tub high. Okay, it's another day and I'm back here by myself. I did get some things figured out. So once I got this top shelf on, it's quite a bit sturdier, but I want to show you what I did on top. So what I did was I put the 2 screws to the side, and I did the same thing on this side. I had put them in like I normally do on the bottom, and it just was still wobbly. So that fixed that. It's a real sturdy shelf now. And also on this one, I started to load it, and it was real wobbly. So I just put this 2x4 here, and that solved everything on this side. This side's still wobbly, so I've got a 2x4 going down here, and then that'll be very sturdy too. So it's coming together. Still got to get this second shelf together, and alright, had some help getting that board up. So we do have quite a bit of room now. Might make one more shelf there. I'm not sure about that with this board. But things are looking good. Let me show you what we've got to put in there. We've got this big box, and then we've got these chairs and material, and all these bins. All that material and the rugs. The rugs will go out to get cleaned. They'll be the last thing that slides in. So it's starting to look good. And this wood that I didn't need, I'll pack that up and probably take that back home. Okay, it's another day, and I've come back here and decided to put this shelf up here. And also I supported the back here so it didn't sway left to right. And it's pretty sturdy going forward, so I haven't put any supports on this thing going forward and back. This seems pretty sturdy. I think this extra board I put in is keeping it real strong. Over here I had to put in this support down here towards the front, and so that one's real sturdy now too. I think they'll both hold a lot of weight. The next time we come back here, we'll be loading the shelves and finishing up. Okay, we got second one emptied, and okay, this is the truth of the matter. And we took the rugs to get them cleaned, but they will be coming back in here. There's enough room for a little bit. 2 more tubs, yellow and black tubs, some more on that shelf, some more room on the couch. We got the couch in today, and room under the couch, and it looks like we're going to be able to fit everything in. This is the end of this video, and I thank you all for watching. I hope somebody gets something out of this, and this helps somebody.